What's up, people? Today I'm going to talk about fake friends and whether you should cut off a friend. I got a question sent in on my Cookin' Up advice form. If you don't know what Cookin' Up advice is, you just send me questions or ask me for advice with the link in the description, and I try to help you out. Somebody sent me a question, and the title of the question said, "Should I be friends with my best friend still? Let me know." So he says, "Hey DJ, I've been wondering if I should not be best friends with my best friend anymore because he always makes fun of me, he never listens to me, he gets super toxic when I beat him in a video game, and he always says that I'm garbage. I just want to know if I should still be best friends with him, and I play with him every day, so I really don't know what to do." I know exactly what you're talking about. You see, I used to be that toxic friend. So I had this friend, and I'm still friends with him to this day. I'm going to say his name is Tommy. Me and Tommy met in about 8th grade, and he was one of those guys that didn't really know what he was. He stayed inside his whole life pretty much. He didn't have a ton of friends, and his parents wouldn't let him go out a lot. So when he started hanging out with me, he didn't really know what to do when we were hanging out. And I was that kid who was always out. I had so much experience. Like, my parents didn't care if I left the house at 11 p.m., stuff like that. So I had a lot more experience when it came to hanging out with people and stuff. So whenever me and him hung out, he would just do whatever I wanted. He would let me do whatever I want, and he would just follow along. And that kind of, in my head, in my 13-year-old head, I was like, okay, this kid's like he's my friend, but like, he'll do whatever I want. So I can just push him around. I can bitch him around, you know what I mean? And it got to the point where, like, I'd be on my phone on Snapchat, and I'd be with him, and like, I'd be like, "Bro, you're ugly," and I'd be joking, but I wouldn't be joking. And it got to a point where he kind of didn't like it, and he thought to himself, is this how people are? Like, because he didn't hang out with a ton of people before me, so he was like, is this how people are? They just push me around and stuff? And I never really bullied him. I'm not going to say I was a bully to him because I'm still friends with him to this day. It's like my best friend. But I was definitely kind of rude to him. And I was the friend that you're talking about. As I grew up, I realized my mistakes, and I realized that I was being toxic, and I changed. I'd say I changed probably when I was 16. I pretty much started just being a bad friend at 13, and I changed at 16. And I still think about it to this day, how, like, wow, I was not a very good person. And I don't think I'm a perfect person now, but I've grown a lot. So you want to know what you should do with this friend. You feel like he pushes you around. You feel like he calls you names, and he does all this. Well, for one, he's immature. And I don't know if you're immature. I'd say you're about 13 by the way you sent the message. So you're probably 8th grade, maybe 9th grade. Man, it might take him a long time to grow up. I know some people who still act like that to this day, who still are very immature. They don't know how to handle situations. They don't know when to say something and when not to say something. They don't know right from wrong, even though they think they do. Some people just take a super long time to grow. So when you say that he calls you garbage and he's rude to you and stuff like that, but he's your best friend, do you not want to stop hanging out with him because he's good on some days but then bad to you on other days? Or do you feel like he's your only friend and that's why you don't want to leave him, because then you'll have no friends? Because if it's that situation where, he's super rude to me, he's super bad, but I don't want to leave him because he's my only friend, you have to leave him. You're gonna make more friends. You have to leave him. But if it's a situation where sometimes he's good, but sometimes he's bad, then I feel like you could work on it with him. But in my opinion, man, you drop him. But before you drop him, you tell him and you say, "Hey, you've been doing this for so long. You've been very rude to me. You treat me like I'm not your friend, and I'm gonna go find somebody who actually appreciates me for who I am, for the friend that I am." And depending on his personality, that'll either trigger him or it'll make him realize, damn, I messed up. Now, if it triggers him, then he's one of those people that you want to get out of your life. If you tell somebody, "Hey, you've been being really rude to me," and then they get mad about it, you know you want them out of your life. Ask yourself right now, do I want to still be his friend because I won't have any friends? Or do I want to still be his friend because he's good and bad? And then once you do that, and once you figure that out, I want you to go to him and say, "Hey, I feel like you don't treat me right. I know what a friendship is, and I feel like this isn't a good friendship. Now, it might be It might be sad for a month or two. You might have a few friends at school, but they're not the same. They wouldn't ever come to your house or something like that. I think having no friends is way better than having 20 toxic friends. I think having no friends is better than having 20 friends. It's important to have friends, but when the friends are toxic like that, like you mentioned in the message, I think you have to leave them, man. I know a lot of you watching are probably in this same situation where you have a friend, but you're not sure if you like them or not. I want you to list out the pros and cons of your friendship with them. Like, what's good about it and what's bad about it? And then see, what could I work on? Can I work on what's bad? Can I work on what's good to make it even better? You also mentioned in your question that he makes fun of me all the time. He never listens to me. Sorry, I burped and gagged or something. Damn. Okay, he gets super toxic when you beat him in a video game. He says you're garbage. There's so many better friends out there for you, bro. I can't say that I've had a super toxic friend like that, like what you're explaining. I can't really remember. I'm trying to remember if I've ever had a toxic friend, but if I did, I definitely would have cut him off because I know that there's good friends everywhere, man. And it might take a long time because some people's personalities don't match up. There's people with a yes man personality where they say yes to everybody and they be nice to everybody. Even if they don't like them, they still try to be nice to everybody. I hate those type of people. I might make a video talking about the yes man personality and why it's so... Your personality might be somebody who just stays inside and plays video games and you kind of just do what you like. And that's kind of how I am. I kind of just stay in my own lane. I do what I like. If it doesn't please anybody, cool. I'm here to please me and my family. And so it might take a while for you to find people who kind of match up with you, but that's fine, man. I'd rather wait a year for a perfect friend than wait 2 months for 6 friends who don't even really like you. And you've got so much time, man. It sounded like you were 13 by the way you sent the message, and you've got so much time, bro. If I could go back to when I was 13 for a couple weeks, I would do it in a heartbeat, bro. Just going to school, coming home, playing video games. Oh, that was the life. Cut off the fake friends. Cut off the negative things from your life. Only bring in the positive things, and your life will be so good. You're already way ahead of people. If you're 13 and you're asking me if you should cut off a fake friend, you're way ahead of people. People would have just stuck with that friend. They wouldn't even have questioned it.